Hi, my name is Cass, and I'm a senior at UVA majoring in environmental sciences, and today I will be interviewing Renee Chester. Renee is a senior product and marketing manager in the flooring divisions for QEP. Renee is also a member of NWFA. NWFA stands for National Wood Flooring Association and is a not-for-profit trade association representing all segments of the hardwood flooring industry, including manufacturers, distributors, retailers, installers, importers and exporters, inspectors, and consultants. Hello, Renee. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. We want to get started. Could you describe what your typical workday entails and what your first few years in this career was like?
Yes, absolutely. Well, first of all, my typical workday always, it's never goes as I plan it. And I think every career is that way. You know, you always come in with very good intentions and then, it always changes, which is, sometimes it's good and sometimes, it's gets a little crazy. But just to speak a little bit to my role, because it is a bit of a interesting role, because I am actually responsible for all of the product management, all of the marketing and all the technical support that we handle for our hardwood flooring facility here at QEP in Johnson City, Tennessee. So as you can imagine, that day to day is quite interesting, because, that goes from, helping any, maybe technical support from our technical group. Maybe they had an inquiry that maybe we need to address with our claims team in our quality control support group here. It goes from, looking at our marketing plans for the year, for the month, looking at our social media plans, looking at, it's ever evolving, looking at forecasting, looking at, production needs, so it's always very interesting. And really for me, it's also a very seasonal change too, because I'm always looking at trends and color forecasting and where the market's headed and going to, because you don't really think about it, but the way that the hardwood industry, there's a lot of tried and true colorations in the market, but there's also a very heavy designer oriented market as well. So, I'm always trying to stay on top of where that market's headed, very seasonally as well too. And then we also have a major trade show season that we start preparing for, and now that's actually getting ready to hit. We're going to start planning for that. We have a big trade show we plan for every January. It surfaces. And then the other big one we have is with NWFA, which is usually every April. And they always kind of rotate throughout the year. So, and then the second part of that question, the first few years of my career, it's quite interesting because, college is very interesting because you don't really, it prepares you, but there's still part of it that you get into this real world and you don't think the hardwood industry is so complex. Like, how in the world could there be an association dedicated just for hardwood flooring, and that's kind of was my, it was part of my thoughts when I first started here, because it was, really, when there's an association just for hardwood, and, over the years, I've been specifically at this location. In September will be 12 years for me. And it's proven to be very, very beneficial. And I know we'll dive into that a little bit later, but, early on, it was just really learning and diving into the industry, and really just head first for me. So.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of college, so what high school courses or college courses do you think were most applicable or important for your occupation? And what courses do you wish you had taken?
For me in my role specifically, now I'm more on that marketing and product development management side. So I would think, in my undergraduate degree, which is in interior design and construction management, I would say more of that color theory and design has really helped me just from that understanding of the application of, those theories and, how certain colors complement each other from the triadic scheme and so forth, and just the different, how they complement each other, how they don't, and even how I can use that in certain marketing applications, not necessarily in new product and color development. So that's, probably one of my most beneficial classes from an undergraduate standpoint. And, from my MBA standpoint, oh gosh, I would say really all of those classes are very beneficial because they're all very challenging and they push you to the limit and they really challenge you and make you, they kind of help you prove to yourself that you can achieve those things that you set out to do if you're willing to do it. So, and I would say some classes that I wished I would have focused on, I think that's a very tough question because, I am in a very industry specific role now. So I would say more marketing specific roles or classes would probably be very beneficial. So.
So what part-time jobs, apprenticeships, internships, or extracurricular activities would best prepare you for this type of occupation?
I would say to explore, any type of, if you're kind of exploring anything that's more related to the role that I'm in, I would say that, any type of like marketing coordinator, because that's really going to allow you to dive into really all of the roots. And I have an excellent marketing coordinator that started with us last July. And, she has really been able to just dive headfirst into everything from trade shows to new product launches to sample development to, everything. So I think that those kind of marketing coordinator specific roles would be a really great introduction to the grand scheme of kind of what goes on, with what, my role does, because it's really the nitty gritty of what happens. Yeah.
Awesome. So moving forward into what are the benefits of being a member of NWFA?
Well, especially as a manufacturer, the NWFA offers so much for us just because of the standardization. Especially from the technical side, as I mentioned earlier on, if we have a consumer that's having trouble installing, a 3/8, 5-inch engineered hardwood flooring, we have a standardized rule that all manufacturers go by. So it's not that each manufacturer, we're making up different rules and one manufacturer says this and one manufacturer says this. So it allows us as an industry to really abide by and to come together in unison and to implement those same standards. So it helps us when we all have the same issues and same problems to, again, come back to that same standardization. And, it helps us, from a learning standpoint, as new products are evolving, new technologies, we're able to, constantly learn and evolve together. Every October they have a wood flooring summit meeting where we talk about the state of the industry, where products are going, the effects of tariffs, imports, exports, just, really everything that, again, nobody ever knows that goes on in the hardwood industry. And it's really beneficial as a member to be a part of those things in a manufacturer.
Awesome.
It helps them.
So could you tell me some of the networking or educational opportunities offered by NWFA?
Yes, absolutely. And I just mentioned one of those. Yeah, that hardwood summit that's usually every October in Nashville is an excellent opportunity, to just go and network and to understand the full state of the industry of the hardwood business. And the National Wood Flooring. The show that we put on every year, because that's basically anybody that's everybody, is showing at that show. And, it's also really great because there's also, they do demos that we often take part in with some of our clicking systems. We're one of the only companies in the U.S. that actually has that technology from Sweden. So we often do some of those demos to show the ergonomics and the benefits to our installers and how it's better on their back and hands and feet and so forth. They have all kinds of training sessions throughout the year. So, being a member and a partner with that, it really allows, as an installer or as a manufacturer, everyone to stay in tune with what's up to date and what's going on. It's basically like it's continuing that education. You're continuing to improve where you are, just like, a doctor, or, they're always continuing that education, and you're always improving on that. And, it's very important, and it's proven to be very vital and very beneficial, for us, not only as a manufacturer, but just as an industry as a whole.
Yeah. Awesome. So what do you find most surprising about this career?
It is it's a very good industry. We always joke every show we attend, it's always one of those, once you're in, you're in. But it's just, there's just a lot of really good people, and even people that move around. It's more of a family. It sounds kind of interesting, but it's, when I'm headed out to certain shows, I'm at the airport, and it's always, oh, hey, how's it going? So it's, not only am I going to represent my company every year and new products, and, maybe I'm going to the Hardwood Summit, or I'm going to certain educational, meetings, but it's also almost a reunion, so it's a very interesting industry, because it is a very close-knit industry. And I don't think a lot of other industries have that same unison outside of this industry. So, yeah.
So before I let you go, is there anything else that you would like to add, or think someone who's considering this occupation would like to know?
Oh, that's always a tough one. I mean, for me, and I don't know that it's necessarily considering this occupation specifically. It's just, I would always say, just continue, or just always be open. Always be open to different opportunities. When I started here, I was over the technical services and claims department, and my undergraduate degree was in interior design and construction management. But, I had this mindset and this, mentality that, this is an opportunity for me, and this, could open a door, and it has opened many doors for me. And I'm very, very thankful for those opportunities that I've been given and that I've had over the years. So, just always look for those opportunities, even though, they may not seem like the exact one that you had set in stone, or, oh, I'm not sure about that. I mean, it's been a very good one. And I'm very thankful to be a part of where I am. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, no, absolutely. Thank you.
Yes. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you learned more about NWFA. For more information, please visit the NWFA Q Career page and find out how NWFA can help you with your career development. Until next time, have a good week. Bye.
Bye.